Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good weekend. Greetings from Tacoma, Washington. I'm spending some time with my son. He just fell asleep, so I thought I would pop in and just start a conversation about energy with you. Over the past 10 days, we've been looking at the first pillar of the Renew program. We've been focused on relationship, looking at relationship with ourselves, relationship with our higher power, relationship with others, and how that influences our choices. And I thought it would be useful to talk to you about how this young man influenced a lot of what I've come to start practicing in terms of energy. So, he was born in 7 years ago, so that was whatever the math is, 2017, I believe. And he was born early and unwell, and we had a lot of challenge. He's been diagnosed with a rare genetic syndrome that affects 1 in every 15 million kids. And I have to say that that was a crisis moment in our lives. And I know many of you have probably, started taking poor care of yourself and making bad choices because of crisis. And that happened to me. I gained a lot of weight, became very anxious, became very depressed at certain points, and just really needed to get some help to deal with the trauma surrounding Derek's birth. As I continued to press on, I wish someone had talked to me about energy, how to read my own energy, manage the energy, and make sure that in spite of what was going on in my personal life, I could remain effective. And that's the core of what we want to accomplish. As we look at energy in this coming week, I really want you to start becoming very observant in your life. I want you to put on the hat of a scientist to start examining what aspects of your life and what times of the day are you most energized. I'm going to give you an activity on Monday called the Energy Audit, and I'm going to encourage you to really look at what times of the day you are most energized, but step back as well and start to identify scenarios and conditions in which you don't really have high energy. So for example, in relation to my son and his condition, I maintain a positive energy around him, and I really go to great lengths to make sure that anyone who doesn't think or speak positively around him is removed from his environment, because we know that he has a diagnosis that is negative, but we stand in faith, believing God for his healing, but also creating an atmosphere around everyone who cares for him, everyone who visits him, and everyone who interacts with us concerning him, to make sure that no negativity is spoken over him or about his situation, and that, we're creating an environment that's peaceful and conducive to his progress. So for example, I've been really, really deliberate. Anytime I come and visit him, I make sure that we choose good colors. I make sure I look good, he looks good. I want the room, we set up his room to be ambient. We've got natural light coming in. We really are deliberate about everything because we know the energy that he is in and the energy that we are in, and everyone who cares for him is influenced by environment. So that's the project I want to give you this weekend. Look around your environment. Is it energizing? Because sometimes when I feel like I'm, scatterbrained, or I'm not really clear about what my goals and dreams are, I look in my environment, and oftentimes it shifts in my environment that re-energize me. So I really want to encourage you to start looking at your environment this weekend, and then also start looking at your context. Who are the people that energize you, and who are the people that don't? So for example, early days of my son being in this particular home, I would come to town and stay with someone. But I just realized that that person was just an energy drag. And so now, I have an apartment where I live, which is nearby this home, and I can walk back and forth on my own without being in that environment of negativity. So, energy is influenced by environment. If you want to have better energy, you have to start thinking about your environment. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this as the week goes on. But I just really wanted to pop in because I felt as Derek was falling asleep that I've learned so much that has helped me be more deliberate about how I set things up for him and myself, so that when I see him and when I spend time with him, it's more positive. And everyone we allow to see him understands the rules, so that the energy that we maintain for him is one of positivity and creating an atmosphere in which the presence of God is felt. We have a playlist of things that we let them play for him. We want to make sure that his energy and ours is always in a place of positivity and possibility. So similarly, think about your situation. You might not be having my particular situation with Derek, but you might be dealing with something in your office or dealing with some sort of situation at your home. Think about your environment that you're in. I used to be a real clutter person. I would struggle to throw things away, struggle to clear the environment. But look, when you change your environment, you change your energy. And if you're feeling demotivated and you have very little motivation to do things, look first at your environment. So I'm going to give you that as homework today. Think about the environment you work in and you live in. Is it energizing you? Do you have natural light coming into the room? Do you have a desk that is free of clutter? Do you have clarity about where everything goes? Sometimes you lack energy in the morning because instead of you taking charge of the day, you let the day take charge of you. And these are the strategies we're going to be teaching in the coming week as we do a deep dive on energy. So I hope you're as excited as I am, and I hope these quick tips are giving you some direction about where you should be looking. Number one, look in your environment. So let me know in the WhatsApp group what kind of environment you live and work in, and whether or not it is energizing or de-energizing you, because we want this part of the challenge to really help you prepare yourself for success before you get into nutrition. Because I find that if you have reconciled all your relationships and you've learned how to engage your energy and preserve it from energy vampires, then when we get to nutrition, you'll be fine. You'll find that part of what leads you to emotional eating might be the environment or the lack of, reconciliation in certain relationships. So I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. And like I said, I know I'm on a different time zone, but I felt like I should pop in and let you know that energy management has been a big piece of why I've been able to manage this, what could have been a crisis situation with my son. And, doctors told us at the very beginning, most kids that have his diagnosis don't live to see their first birthday. And tomorrow is his 7th. So I see the impact that being clear about energy and how to manage it has had a benefit, not just in my own life, but in the life of this great young man here. So I look forward to sharing more about this in our live call on Tuesday. But in the meantime, please think about your environment, the environment you live in and the environment you work in. Is it energizing or not? And what are the things that you think you can do to help it be so? And I look forward to the deep dive together with you on Tuesday. Until then, stay well, stay rested, and I wish you a restorative rest of the weekend. Mwah. Bye.